Well, I've seen last week a couple different videos, well, more than a couple, about stripper clips. And I'd have to say, I've got both. I've got, I've had for 3 years these knockoff kind of ones. And, I got used to them and they work. But the thing about them is they are very sloppy. When they fit in there, they just flop around. Now you compare it to the Russian ones, there's very little slop. They fit in there much snugger. And also there is a difference, people complain about them, about the aftermarket ones, but even the aftermarket ones, around receiver there isn't quite as much of a shoulder up here to hold them. So you get a lot more flop than you do in the hex receivers. There's not near as much. They seem to go in a little further there, or there's more of a guide up here. But these things, the worst thing about these, when you go, like I said, they flop around, and when you go to slide them in, if you're pushing with your thumb, it's very easy to hook on this sharp, there's a very sharp edge here. Now these Russian ones, they actually have the edge rolled over. They're just more protected. There isn't that sharp edge to catch your thumb on. It's especially if you're wearing gloves, these things snag them every time. Because you really, a lot of people will do that, lift up the front, but it's nice if you can just slide them down. So these Russian ones, they will slide down. These things, like I say, if they flop around so much that a lot of times when you're pushing down, you're actually kind of trying to push back at the same time. It's just very easy to snag your finger on them. But they work. I hear people complain about them, and yeah, they're not ideal, but they do work. But the Russian ones are better. But I was thinking about stripper clips because I finally got some clips for the Mauser. I've got some that I got off of eBay, and they said they were used. It says APB. But they're a good solid design. They've got kind of a leaf spring in there that holds the shells in place. So they fit in there very nicely. And on this thing, it's very easy. When you can just slide them right down, they go in, and then these are designed, this is kind of a spring-loaded gate for the bolt, but as soon as you push it forward, it kicks that clip out of there. So it's a good design. Well, this Mauser's got a hell of a lot of good designs in it. But, I constantly see people complaining about these aftermarket clips, and like I said, they aren't ideal, but they do work. A lot of times it's just a matter of getting practice with them. But where I run into problems is where I'm wearing gloves, because I will hook that every time. So the Russian ones, they are better. And I know, people do that. These, Chile Austria sent me these. And they came and they were loaded in that pyramid way where there's one over there. It's kind of a nuisance to do it that way. But that is the way that they came loaded, so that the clip would go in either way. I never do it. I always load them the regular way. So then they're designed to, they slide in one way. It seems like you're just not asking for as much trouble as you are the other way. And it's pretty obvious when you look at them when they're in the clip, that they're all angled. It stands out, so it's very easy to slide them in like that. But I have tried it the other way, and it does work, but like I say, it's just more trouble to load. But there are advantages to the Russian ones. But even a good Russian one isn't as good as a bad Argentine one. These are a good clip.